You know, Doug, you have done so much more research on this issue than I have. But let me just throw something out there. And on these routes where you get fewer than 8 riders an hour, is it possible to just cut back on the number of runs that they're making rather than cut those routes completely?
There absolutely are. You can, and actually not just that. You can modify your routes, which we've done some.
So we're looking at all of
comprehensive route analysis. You can also move away from these big metro buses into smaller buses. You can use other methods to provide those services. And yes, we're looking at all of those. It gets very hard to have that discussion when when you first say, look, these routes are non-performing and they need to be addressed. The next thing that happens on Facebook is somebody says Underhill hates buses and puppies, and actually the union filed a lawsuit against me at one point for just wanting to have this discussion. Obviously, it was dropped because it was unfounded, but that's the kind of thing that we could, if we would, from, I say both sides of the aisle, but America doesn't work that way anymore. There's like 70 sides of the aisle, right? If all of us would come together and just address the issues, instead of the name calling and instead of trying to use the issue as a means to get your guy in power, we would be able to solve all these issues and have time and money left over.
Unfortunately, I think it has become so ingrained in people that they have to identify with one party or the other. And it's not even permissible anymore to reach across an aisle and have this kind of conversation. But you're right, if all of the experts come together on this and determine the best way to deal with this, is it a smaller type of vehicle? Is it fewer number of runs per day? But if we have an obvious problem that is costing taxpayers this much money, and there is a reasonable way to deal with it without major impact on people, it's a shame you can't get all the people to the table. So there's your challenge. There's
it absolutely is.
A big challenge.
But it's all of our challenge, Dee Dee. It's not just the elected officials are scared to actually take on these hard projects because you're going to get sued, you're going to have memes about you on Facebook and all that, and all of those things come together on election time, and you end up with billboards saying that you're a mean and angry person. If we would all throttle back on the hatred and the anger, we'll find that the things that bind us together are so much greater than the things that separate us. And if we just work on the hard projects that we need to work on, we will be so tired at the end of the day, we won't have time to fight.